All right, let's dive into something really cool today. We're going to explore what you could call a cosmic blueprint, a kind of spiritual map that shows the journey of consciousness from one single unified source, all the way down to, well, you, sitting there right now.
So, let me just start by asking you this. What if your life, everything you've ever experienced, every single challenge, every single win, wasn't random at all? What if it was actually part of a huge, purposeful design for your own growth and evolution?
The model we're exploring today is an ancient idea, one you can find in a ton of different traditions. It's the idea that all of reality is an emanation, that it's consciousness flowing out from one single point of pure unity into the incredible, beautiful complexity we see all around us.
Okay, so to really get a handle on this, we're going to break it down into four main parts. We'll kick things off at the very beginning with the source and its seven rays. Then we'll get into oversouls, which are kind of like our soul families. After that, we'll zero in on the soul's mission right here on Earth. And to wrap it all up, we'll see how one single consciousness can become billions of individual lives, all at once. Sounds good? Let's get into it. So, our journey starts at the highest level imaginable, the absolute origin of everything. I want you to think of this as pure white light before it hits a prism and splits into that amazing rainbow of colors. Right at the very top of everything is what we call source, the singular absolute consciousness. And in this view, creation isn't some event that happened billions of years ago. No, it's happening right now. It's this constant process where source folds itself into countless forms, kind of like cosmic origami, just to experience itself. But get this, all without ever really dividing. It's still one. Now, this pure energy doesn't just zap into existence. It has to step down its vibration, moving through different levels of consciousness, sometimes called a logos. So it goes from this vast universal mind, the cosmic logos, then flows through the consciousness of our own sun, the solar logos, and finally it arrives at the planetary logos of Earth. That's what makes it accessible to life as we know it. Okay, now this is where it gets really personal. These seven primary energies, or rays, aren't just some abstract thing. They actually show up as distinct qualities, from things like will and power to love and wisdom. And what's so fascinating is how they influence us on two different levels. There's the deeper soul level, which kind of guides our whole life's purpose. And then there's the more immediate personality level, which shapes our everyday treats. So, for example, a soul might be here on a Ray 1 path to learn about leadership, while their personality here on Earth expresses that through just being really determined and strong. See how that works? So we've got the primary colors of creation down. Now let's zoom in just one level deeper to see how we start to group together in this whole cosmic structure. And this brings us to this amazing concept of the Oversoul. The easiest way to think of it is as a collective consciousness. It's like a higher self for a whole group of souls. It's your soul family, all born from the exact same primary ray, and you're all working together on a similar set of lessons and themes as you evolve.
So, what does this oversoul actually do? Well, it's got a few really important jobs. It keeps the whole group focused on lessons related to its main ray, like maybe love and compassion for our Ray 2 oversoul. It's also the coordinator, kind of organizing the different lifetimes for all its individual souls. It guides you through your intuition, that little quiet voice inside. And here's the really cool part. The oversoul itself evolves. It grows wiser as each soul in its family learns their lessons and brings that wisdom back to the group. So all this cosmic structure stuff is great, but how does it relate to you? Let's zoom in even further and bring this map down to the most personal level there is, the big difference between your eternal soul and the temporary personality you're using right now.
The soul, that's the real you, the eternal you. It's an individual spark that came from your oversoul, and it's on its own epic journey. The soul is the part of you that keeps going, life after life, constantly gathering wisdom and evolving with every single new experience.
And this chart just lays out the difference so clearly. Think about it this way. The soul is your eternal essence. It's the driver on this super long road trip. The personality, on the other hand, that's the temporary vehicle. It's your body, your ego, your mind, all perfectly designed for this one specific leg of the journey. So yeah, this is the crucial point. The person you think of as you right now, the one listening to my voice, that's the personality. And your job in this model is to navigate this lifetime, to go out there, gather experiences and data, and ultimately bring all that priceless wisdom back home to your eternal soul when the ride is over.
Okay, so we've gone from the mind-bogglingly vast scale of the source all the way down to the individual personality. Now let's pull the camera all the way back out again and look at this whole incredible process from the perspective of the source itself. How on earth does one consciousness manage to experience billions of lives all at the same time?
Well, it seems to happen in stages. First, the singular consciousness, the monad. It just decides it wants to see what it's like to be many. So it exhales these rays of itself, which then split into oversouls, then souls, and finally into personalities just like us. But, and this is the absolute key, nothing ever truly separates. Think of it like being quantum entangled. Every single part stays connected to the whole. These rays then go out and choose to experience everything, the good, the bad, the light, the dark, so they can play all the possible roles. And the whole journey culminates when a personality, like you, remembers its connection back to the source, and that whole illusion of being separate just collapses.
So what does that even feel like from the perspective of source? There's this beautiful metaphor for it. It's like blowing a single giant soap bubble that instantly contains infinite smaller bubbles, but they're all still perfectly contained inside the first one. From that point of view, you aren't just one tiny piece of the puzzle. You are simultaneously the whole thing and the part. You are the sun, and you are every single sunbeam, and you are every spot of light that each one of those beams makes on every wall, all at once. It's a lot to wrap your head around. And that moment of remembering, that moment when a personality wakes up and realizes what it truly is. It's described as feeling like every single sunbeam suddenly rushing back into the sun at the speed of light. Just this instantaneous, total reunion.
So, when you put this all together, what's the big takeaway? This cosmic blueprint, it offers this incredibly powerful perspective that nothing in your life is an accident. Every single experience, the good and the bad, is a meaningful piece of a grand, purposeful design for the growth and evolution of your soul. And that just leaves us with one last thing to think about. As you reflect on your own life, your passions, your strengths, your purpose, you might start to ask yourself, which one of these divine rays is the guiding light for my journey?